Namaste everybody, I'm going to continue with the I AM Discourses, and I actually ran over on the last video. I didn't realise it was over the 15-minute mark, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to backtrack a little bit and we are going to go over the last part again from Discourse 9. I tell you frankly, beloved students and individuals, there is not the slightest hope for you in heaven or earth so long as you persist in holding within your consciousness thoughts and feelings of criticism, condemnation, or hate of any description, and that includes mild dislike. This leads us to the very vital point that you are concerned only with your own activity and your world. It is not your province to judge another, for you do not know the forces playing upon another, nor the conditions. You know only the angle that you see of it, and I tell you that if an individual should be entirely innocent of any intent to wrong another, the individuals who send criticism, condemnation, or hate to such a one are doing worse than committing physical murder. Why is this so? Because thought and feeling are the only creative power, and while such thoughts and feeling may not touch or harm their objective, they must return and bring with them the conditions sent out by the individual who sent them forth, and always with the accumulated energy. So after all, the one who holds vicious thoughts to another is in reality but destroying himself, his business, his affairs. There is no possible way of averting it except for the individual to awaken and consciously reverse the currents. Let us go one step further. Throughout all ages, there have been business associates in which there were one or possibly two with the deliberate intent to do wrong, and through this association a number of individuals absolutely innocent of any wrong intents have been imprisoned. I now tell you as an unfailing law that cannot be changed, that the individual or individuals who cause innocent persons to be incarcerated, thus depriving them of their freedom of action as God intended, will bring that exact experience, what they have desired for another, onto their own experience, even unto the third and fourth embodiment following. Okay, so this is saying literally for 3 or 4 incarnations following, you could be stuck repaying this karma. And karma is just a mirror, don't forget. Karma is a mirror. Karma is so that you can learn. It's not a punishment. God does not punish. I know. I've died and come back. I've come out of my body and gone there and come back. God does not punish. But you are your greatest judge. You are your greatest judge, and you want to come back and balance the karma yourself, of your own soul, self, free will. I can promise you that as well. To continue, for myself, I would rather 1,000 times be deliberately shot down than to be the instrument of depriving any of God's children their liberty. There is no greater crime reigning in the human experience today than the prevailing use of circumstantial evidence, for in 99 cases out of 100 it is afterwards found to be entirely wrong. Sometimes the truth is never known to the outer sense. So, beloved students, let no one seeking the light ever set himself or herself up in judgment on another of God's children. Again, supposing someone we love very much seems to be going all awry, what is the first thing the outer world should do? As a rule, to begin sitting in judgment and criticism. The most powerful thing that can and should be done for such an individual by everyone who knows anything of the circumstances is to pour out all their love and to silently know, I am God in action, is the only controlling intelligence and activity within this brother or sister. To keep silently speaking to that one's consciousness is the greatest help possible to be given. Many times to remonstrate verbally with an individual sets up a condition of antagonism, intensifying rather than erasing the activity, which is the silent work would be absolutely certain to accomplish. No one in the outer consciousness can possibly know what the I am God presence in the other individual's wishes to do. These are vital truths that if maintained, would bring very great peace into the lives of individuals. Many lives within their attended business efforts are ruined because there is lurking within the consciousness of the individual judgment, condemnation, or a feeling of some degree of hatred towards another. The student or individual who wants to leap ahead in the progress of the light should never enter sleep until he or she have consciously set love to every individual whom he or she feels has harmed them at any time. This thought of love will go straight as an arrow to the consciousness of the other individual, because it cannot be stopped, there generating its quality and power, which will as surely come back to you as you send it out. There is perhaps no single element responsible for so many diseased conditions of the body and mind as the feeling of hate sent out to another individual. There is no telling how this will react upon the mind and body of the sender. In one, it will produce one effect, in another, still a different effect. Let it be here understood that the resentment is but another form of hate, only of a milder degree. A very wonderful thought to live in always is, I am the perfect creative thought and feeling everywhere present in the minds and hearts of individuals. It is a most marvellous thing. It not only brings rest and peace to yourself, but releases limitless gifts from the presence. Another is, I am the mighty law of divine justice and protection acting in the minds and hearts of individuals everywhere. You can apply and use this with enormous force and power in every way. Another is, I am divine love filling the minds and hearts of individuals everywhere. As you think on this, you will understand what was done. When this home was made a radiating centre of the active presence of God, you will suddenly come into a realization of the gigantic application of this. Everything in this life experience of humanity can be governed by the I am presence. The use of the I am presence is the highest activity that can be given. When you say I am, you set God into action. But there's a lot more to it which you will come to realize when you feel and know the enormity of the use of this expression. Realize the enormous power of the I am to act in all things of this kind. I am the God, power almighty. There is no other power that can act. When you say and feel this, then you liberate and loose the full activity of God. Another statement, I am the conscious memory of these things. Also, I am the conscious memory, use and understanding in the use of these things. When you say the presence that I am clothes me in the eternal transcendent garment of light, it actually does take place that moment. The secret place of the Most High is this, I am presence. The sacred things that have been revealed to you are not to be cast forth, for they are as pearls. Know always, I am the perfect poise of speech and action at all times. Then the guard is always up, for I am the protecting presence. God's energy is always waiting to be directed. Inherent within the expression of the I am is the self-sustaining activity. Then you know there is no time. This brings you to the instantaneous action, and your precipitation will soon take place. Always preceding a manifestation, you will feel that absolute stillness. Benediction. We give thanks, Almighty I am presence, for having entered into thy secret place. Let thy wisdom govern at all times the dispensation of thy light. Let thy wisdom guard and direct our minds and bodies at all times, that they always act in perfect accord with thee, as thou art called forth into action, Almighty I am presence. We know we are always charged at all times with the mighty eternal energy, and that it is accomplished all perfectly wherever it is sent. So I'm going to have to open these curtains. It's getting a bit dark in here. The notes say, legal affirmations for the one not in the midst of the case. Take this statement: I am the law, I am the justice, I am the judge, I am the jury. Knowing that I am all-powerful, then I know that only divine justice can be done here. Well, another incredible discourse there by Saint Germain. Jesus Christ, Nada, Himalaya, and all the other ascended ones from the Great White Brotherhood. In other words, all of the ascended masters. Now I'm just going to try and open these curtains a bit, let some more light in. And then we shall continue on with Discourse 10. Okay, that's better. I can see loads better now. Discourse 10, November the 3rd, 1932. Saint Germain. Invocation. Mighty luminous presence, I am the conquering power. I am the radiant splendor filling everything in manifestation. I am the life flowing through all manifestation. I am the intelligence governing all activity, inner and outer, making it one perfect activity out of thy light. Mighty presence, which I am. All things are precipitated into form. I am the exhaustless energy governed by thy wondrous infinite intelligence. Light the illuming center within these bodies who come under this radiation. Expand that light into full illumination of the body and mind, raising it to thy activity perfect eternal garment. Mighty light, send forth thy rays into the heart of mankind, into all official places, commanding justice, illumination, and perfection of thyself to express, bring relief, release, and light unto humanity, and by thy governing principle command all things in the outer human activity to give obedience. I bring you greetings from the great host of loved ones who always watch and minister to those whose devotion reaches unto them. The Discourse. From out of the centuries of activity, we have arrived at the focal point where the experiences of the ages come into instantaneous action, where all time and space become one presence, God in action now. Knowing that it is the presence of God, I am, that beats your heart, then you know that your heart is the voice of God speaking. And as you come to meditate upon the great truth, I am the supreme intelligent activity through my mind and heart, you will bring the true, dependable, divine feeling into the heart. So long mankind has been loving on the periphery of the circle. Once a student becomes really aware that God is love and love's true activity comes through the heart, he will understand that to focus his attention on the desire to project love forth for any given purpose is the supreme privilege of the outer activity of the consciousness which can generate love to a boundless degree. Mankind has not previously understood that divine love is a power, a presence, an intelligence, a light that can be fanned into a boundless flame or fire. And it is within the conscious intelligence of every individual, especially students of the light, to so create and generate this presence of love, that it can be an invincible, exhaustless, peace-commanding presence wherever conscious individuals desire to direct. It's somewhere, it has been said, that love may not be commanded. I say to you, love is the first principle of life, and may be generated to any degree or without any limit whatsoever for infinite use. Such is the majestic privilege of the conscious use and direction of love. When I say generate, I mean the opening of the door through conscious devotion to the outpouring of this exhaustless fountain of love, which is the heart of your being, the heart of the universe. Students, by contemplating this infinite power of love, become such a fountain of its outpouring that its continuous direction may be infinite in the student's use. When my beloved students wish to hasten their liberation from certain events or outer activity, I can but say, I am the commanding presence, the exhaustless energy, the divine wisdom, causing my desire to be fulfilled. This will bring the quickest release from any undesirable condition that the very law of your being will permit. Knowing this, you may further know the purpose of the I am. And we're out of time.